Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I was watching last night, or it was last night or the night before, there was a clip of Elon Musk talking to Tucker Carlson, and he was talking about how important AI was going to be. Link2 is one of my sponsors, and they're putting AI, they've got AI private equity on the platform. Listen to this. If I can get it to play, let's hit the old refresh button. I had an internet slowdown. All right.
ChatGPT reached 100 million monthly users in January.
Wait a minute.
ChatGPT reached 100 million monthly users in January and showed us just how advanced artificial intelligence has become. And now, Elon Musk launched an AI company as part of the billionaire's plan to create a new super company. Microsoft and Google have even shifted their corporate strategies and are investing billions into AI. Don't miss your chance to invest in AI companies available on Link2's platform. Samba Nova built GPT banking, Cerebra Systems builds the fastest chips in the industry, and Standard AI has transformed retail as we know it. No more needing to wait in lines when you check out. Visit Link2.com to invest in the AI companies building the new infrastructure layer for the global economy. Invest today while they're still available on Link2's platform.
That looks like I'm going to have to start getting some AI private equity. Check this out. eGreg Crypto, XRP Diamond Bottom, $10 update, XRP Army Diamond Hands for Diamond Pattern. It's coming. Stay steady. And I don't know exactly what he's talking about. I guess this is the Diamond Pattern. And I'm looking at the dates down here. I don't know what he's comparing it to like now, but look at this. 1,825.63% to $10. So maybe he sees something. Sounds good to me. I'll take it. What is your exit? What's your first exit? Is it $10? I might have to think about it at $10 or $20. Now, this is a clip that we covered yesterday, but I don't think I really discussed it because words mean things. Listen to this.
Security? Do you say XRP is a security?
Well, we're in court and active discussions and litigation on that.
You're in litigation because you do.
Active discussions and litigation. He's talking about XRP. Well, what that reminds me of, because discussions, what's he in? Discussions with the judge. I think it would have to be discussions between his side and Ripple's side, I would think. But, and litigation. So, what that reminds me of is, remember John Deaton? I tried to find it a while back. John Deaton, I think he was doing an interview with Link2, and he said the way these trial works is that you've got a settlement team and you got a litigation team, and they're both doing their thing all throughout. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there's active discussions, like as in settlement discussions right now. The way he said it is that those type of discussions are going on all the way along because you've got those two groups that are working. So now by far, I didn't show you this clip yesterday. By far the most interesting clip from yesterday is this. This guy's a freaking gunslinger rock star. This make sure everybody knows who he is. I would vote for him today if I knew where to vote for him. He is Congressman Byron Donalds. And this is what you call a mega bomb drop. All right. And I don't get into politics on this show, but let me tell you, there's a couple of things I do know. First of all, I do know that Gary was sent to the SEC because he's a political operative, and he's a political operative who I think has earned a reputation in those circles as being a guy who just doesn't care what people think, and he'll go up there and he'll kill you with his little platitudes and act like he's a nice guy when he's a gangster, okay, who'll slit your throat. But he does it with a smile, and he does all the circular talks. Janet Yellen, same thing. The circular talk, and and all the platitudes about how it's so great to be here and all that, just complete bull. These are nasty, nasty people, folks. And they can't fool the digital asset investor. These are not good folks. These are not your local nice people that you've raised your kids with. These are some cutthroat, nasty folks, and that's why they're chosen. Okay, this guy right here, and you don't see them get phased very much, but they do here, right here. This guy gets him. Watch the look on Gary Gensler's face, and the reason he gets him is for two reasons. One, he didn't see it coming, but two, he doesn't have an answer.
Hey, real quick, last question. I think it might have came up. You were Hillary Clinton's CFO in the campaign, right?
It's part of my history.
Were you? Yes or no?
In 2016.
Did you facilitate the payment for the Steele dossier since you were CFO of the Hillary Clinton?
Freeze frame. Look at the look on his face. He cannot believe that he's actually being asked this question.
Pain?
Sir.
Yes or no?
Sir.
Yes or no?
That was not.
You're under oath, Chairman Gensler.
You're under oath.
No, I was not.
You're under oath. That means we got you, dude. You better have a good answer right here. Don't lie.
I was aware of.
Not something he was aware of, which does two things. One, it acknowledges that he knows something bad was done. Okay? But he's saying he wasn't aware of it, which you and I know has got to be bullcrap. Watch.
I yield back the rest of my time. Thank you.
And then there's this same guy. This and by the way, the guy who captured this was the cool guy. The cool guy found this video, and I had just recorded it, and the cool guy made me aware of it. I just put my video out anyway. But the Clinton eyes, or he calls them the Clinton. Ooh, I'm not supposed to say that word. Scratch that. I did not say that word. Those people's eyes are priceless. Then the same congressman goes on to Fox Business.
Hey, weren't you the CFO for the Hillary Clinton campaign? And he was stunned. He didn't know how to answer. I think there's a meme on that right now floating around Twitter. And then the second piece was, well, then if you were the CFO, did you authorize the purchase of the Steele dossier? Which, by the way, if we're going to be talking about what's going on in Manhattan with Alvin Bragg, the Steele dossier was actually interfering with a presidential election back in 2016. Hey,
like I said, there's a reason that Gary Gensler's been put there. Now, there were several clips that happened after my video yesterday of some of these congressmen going after him too. Watch this.
Is it fair to assume that you were about to say that the Department of Justice is responsible or implicated in the production of that document? Regarding
they're talking about the FTX documents that Gary Gensler keeps hiding.
Purchased SBF?
No, let me say two things. One, it's really important to protect investigative files because there are things in investigative files that are private, and we put out then in a charging document for a court to review and the public to review the important information about those charges. But an investigative file is important to keep confidential. Number two, the Justice Department conducts parallel investigations, and that's a separate matter as to whatever they do.
So a memo was requested. It should be an internal document from your agency. You and your agency report to this committee. So you should be able to produce that document.
Again, sir, I have deep belief in and respect for congressional oversight, but we're working with the committee staff here. We're working with the members that you met to try to address their issues. We've met, the staffs have met, have continued to brief as to how we deliberate and how we approach enforcement matters. But it's also a really important thing.
I'll reclaim my time.
Investigative files.
You know, we have a Homeland Security agency that gets secret documents to the committee. They can be reviewed in the SCIF. There can be a process here by which you oblige this committee and produce the documents that have been requested. It's that simple. If I wanted to hear preaching, I'd go to church. You were asked a question. A document was requested. You have an obligation to produce it. Now, if we need to take extraordinary measures to protect the information within that document, it can be done so. But please spare me the preaching.
I think the entire country and the world woke up to who this guy is yesterday. Watch this one.
I have a staff email, Mr. Gensler, confirming receipt of the letter in front of me. I know the SEC received it. Can you explain why you failed to answer my letter, Mr. Chairman?
There's a letter that I just got in the last 2 weeks, as I understand.
No, it's dated March 30, 2023, and I have
Or 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I have a...
So let me just address again the substance.
I'm going to reclaim my time.
Sorry.
I do expect a written response very soon to that letter. And Chairman Gensler, I'm new to this committee. I may not look like it today, but I sit way down on the dais. I've heard rumors that you're not particularly interested in communicating with Congress, the entities you regulate, or just about anyone else. As you can tell by how late I have been in the speaking order for this hearing, I am nowhere near one of the most senior members of Congress in this room. But let me remind you that everyone on this dais represents different parts of the United States of America. And by ignoring our letters, you are effectively ignoring the American people. And make no mistake, we will hold you accountable.
Ooh, I like that guy already. Then there was this. Now, we showed this yesterday, but this guy points out, this is the one where Gary Gensler says he's never owned crypto. I call BS on that. And this guy makes the point. Chair Gensler just testified that he taught multiple courses on crypto, but has never owned or used it. How can you teach a course about something you never owned or used? That makes no sense. There's no freaking way that Gary Gensler sat there and taught that whole course and never even tried to go through the process of buying Bitcoin or something. That right there needs to be looked into. Was it his kids that he got to buy it for him? That's a red flag right there. Big time. Then John Deaton was doing a recap, and John here talks about the number one thing that he took away from the hearing, and he said this should absolutely scare the living shit out of everyone involved in crypto. Listen to this, because he caught something I didn't catch.
The number one thing that I took away from this hearing on specific questions that should absolutely scare the living shit out of everyone involved in crypto is the following. It was an open-ended question by Maxine Waters, where she just playing the part.
Where she's feeding him, basically throwing him an alley-oop.
It's an hack that she played in today's hearing, where she said questions like, do you have authority to regulate the crypto market? And of course he said yes. But she said, I want you to follow up your answer about what is a crypto. And this is what he said. He said, if there's a website, that's indication. If it is software that needs to be upgraded, that is an indication of a security. If there are lawyers who have been hired to come in to meet with us, that is an indication of a security, because there's a small group of entrepreneurs involved. Just think about that for a second. The man has been saying for 2 years, come in and talk to us. Come in and talk to us. Now he's saying, if you come in and talk to him and you hired lawyers to do it, that indicates that you have a security. He literally said that today at the hearing. And then he also threw out, if there's Twitter accounts. So think about that. Website, Twitter accounts is upgraded, software being upgraded. So what's that tell you about what his thoughts are of Ethereum? He won't answer it, people, but you know clearly, meeting his definition, Bitcoin would be implicated. I'm not saying he's saying that. I'm just telling you, if you listen to what he said, wasn't there a Bitcoin Taproot software upgrade? Doesn't Bitcoin get upgraded? Ethereum upgrade, the Shanghai that just happened? All of those things indicate what we warned at Crypto Law a year and a half ago. Every single token is in danger with this guy.
Yes, sir. All of them, not some of them. And then I'm not going to go over, but I did put back during ETHgate, we exposed these guys with all kinds of things. Oh, you know what? Why not? I'll show it. I put this little video together. This shows you who, this lays it out for you. I took some of the clips from Patrick McHenry yesterday, and then I inserted past clips from Gary Gensler, one from Vitalik Buterin, so you can see very clearly. I'm trying to mix the truth with Gary Gensler.
Is Ether a commodity or a security? Ethereum, when it was first
This is him when he was at MIT.
promoted in 2014, I believe, passed this test. And the word pass means that you are a security. Without speaking to anyone, I know you've repeatedly said you're not going to speak to one, except you've spoken to one, Bitcoin. Some like Bitcoin, and that's the only one, Jim, I'm going to say, because I'm not going to talk about any one of these tokens, but sure, my predecessors and others have said they're a commodity. So I'm asking you to speak to a second one, the second largest market cap here. And speaking to the tokens, there's 10 to 12,000. If there's a group of entrepreneurs, I'm asking about one. The public is anticipating a profit based on the.
All right, so he basically said the public is anticipating a profit based on the efforts of others, and then this is Vitalik Buterin in 2014 before the Ethereum pre-sale.
An audience that are non-technical people, right? And they want to invest into Ethereum. How can, first of all, how does that work? I mean, when you guys were going to launch in February, now it's been put forth, you know?
So it's not the launch that we have. So we are going to start the Ether pre-sale in a couple of weeks. So the Ether pre-sale will be an opportunity for anyone to purchase Ether. For Ether is the internal currency inside of the Ethereum system, sort of like the XRP and Ripple.
Now, is there a big window of opportunity for people to get in, or is there just like a one-day opportunity?
No, it's something we're thinking of. It might be 45 days, it might be 30, it might be 60 days.
Okay, so there's plenty of time.
Sort of an incremental thing, so the earlier you go in.
The earlier you get in, the better a price you get.
Now, do you see how the reason guys like Gary Gensler prefer this regulation by enforcement is because it gives them the power to be corrupt. If they actually had a set of rules that everybody could look at and follow, and it was very simple, then everybody would look at them and follow, and you would have the occasional fraudulent guy, and that's who the SEC needs to be going after anyway. But they want it this way. This is how they can pick an Ethereum and let them be a winner, and they can tell all of their crooked buddies ahead of time and let them know what they're doing, and they can all pile into that, and they can all make sure that they own tokens that are built off of it and all that stuff. That is the whole purpose of, that is why Gary Gensler is up here and won't answer that Ethereum's a security. This is what's happened to our country, and this is why the trash needs to be taken out. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that the trash has got to be taken out or we don't have a country anymore. Thanks for listening.